Welcome to section 9 of Motivation for Peak Performance. Today, in this section, we're going to talk about creating habits that fuel motivation. Small changes in our life can boost our motivation. It doesn't have to be, you know, giant steps or giant leaps. There are four steps in creating habits that boost our motivation. And these are noticing, wanting, doing, liking. We want to do something, but we wait to be motivated, and waiting never works. Procrastination is the enemy of motivation. Noticing. When you are in this stage, I would like you to do a pre-mortem of failure. So let's think about, what's the worst thing that can go wrong if you don't develop this motivation to do something. Think about failing and think about why did you fail and what can you do better. When you think about failure as a post-mortem or a pre-mortem, you don't you don't look at it from a negative perspective. You put a positive spin. It's like risk management. The reason why you're thinking about it is so that you can prevent things from delaying you or stopping you. Use this to put together a better plan. Years ago, I struggled reading a book. One book would usually take me a couple of months, sometimes even up to 6 months. Today, I read an average of one book a week or sometimes 2 weeks. I was thinking that the worst, for this particular case in noticing, I was thinking that the worst thing that can happen is I do not sustain the behavior of reading. And then I have to, and I figured out why. Because I simply bogged down with getting day to day, I mean, in my day to day life, that I forget. Actually, it's more of I forget rather than I don't want to read. So I needed a better plan. And that was the output of my noticing stage or step regarding my creation of a habit of reading. One thing, the next step, one thing, decide to do something in your environment to make it a good behavior. So put a positive environment so that it reinforces the behavior, or you don't have to be motivated. The environment simply triggers this behavior from you. For instance, you can put a book that you would like to read on top of your pillow so that when you go home, you take a bath, you do all of the stuff that you need to do, and right before you go to bed, you will see the book on top of your pillow. And naturally, since it's there, the environment is encouraging you to read the book. So you pick it up and you read it before you go to sleep. So my particular example is that I decided to use Audible books since I always have my phone, and I subscribed to an app called Scribd, and I installed Scribd in all of my devices, because this way I can continue with any book I am currently reading regardless of device. Scribd also allows me to listen to books while I am walking, exercising, and even taking a bath. It marks where I leave off, or it marks where I left off reading a book. So that since I always have my phone, I see Scribd. Every time I open it, it reminds me. It's a trigger. It's an environmental trigger that helps me remember to read a book. On the step doing, you have to optimize for the starting line, meaning you have to optimize to start the habit, to motivate yourself to get going. You don't do that towards the end of the journey, you do that at the beginning of the journey. So, for my particular example, using an app made it easier for me to start reading more because when I start my day, I look at my phone and I see the app there. So it kind of jump starts me, or it kind of jump starts reminding me that I still have a book to finish. The next step is liking. If you don't like the experience, I'll bet you will stop the habit or stop or postpone it or procrastinate. Figure out how to bring the reward in the progress. Long term behaviors need a way for you to enjoy them at the moment. Kasi if you're going to reward yourself at the end of if you try to motivate yourself for the next 12 months because you want to lose 10 kilos, and you only reward yourself at the end of 12 months as soon as you achieve it, chances are you'll falter on your way to the 12 months. So, usually, the best way is for you to like being motivated to accomplish something by giving yourself rewards as you progress, rewards as in this case, for every 2 kilos, do something nice or buy something nice for yourself. So in my case, every time I read 3 books, I allow myself a pizza because I'm watching my carbs. No? So I allow myself a thin crust pizza for every 3 books that I read. So it means that if I can read 3 books in 3 weeks, I reward myself in progress, no, to 52 books a year. So usually you aim for streaks. So for me, it's not a question of a total only of 52 books. It's a question of every week I should be reading one. It's a streak, just like praying. I also go for a streak that I will read a couple of verses every day using a Bible app. So it's the streak. It makes you feel good that you've gone 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 months, 24 months in a streak. So you don't want to lose that streak because you don't want to go back to zero. So it's also a very encouraging way to stay motivated. How about you? What gets in the way of your motivation, and what do you think you should do about it? You see, most of the time, people around us they will just find excuses or point fingers for not being able to continue being motivated in accomplishing something. But we know that motivation. Sorry. Now we know that we have to hold ourselves accountable. It's our life. It's our habit. We are the ones that will reap the rewards. We are the ones that will suffer for the failure. So we cannot just point fingers and give dozens of excuses why we are motivated to begin or to continue something that's important. So going back to my question, we get what gets in your way when when you want to be motivated to accomplish something that's very important. Where do you need to draw your motivation from?